sort of looking man is Mr. Martin? Oh, I thought him very plain at first, but I do not think him so plain now. One does not, you know, after a time. What do you imagine his age to be? He was 24, the 8th of last June, and my birthday is the 23rd, just a fortnight, and a day's difference, which is very odd. Only 24, that is too young to settle. They seem very comfortable as they are, and if his mother were to take any pains to marry him, she would probably repent it. 6 years hence, if he could meet with a good sort of young woman, in the same rank as his own, with a little money, it might be very desirable. "6 years hence, dear Miss Woodhouse, he would be 30 years old. Well, and that is as early as most men can afford to marry, who are not born to an independence. Mr. Martin, I imagine, has his fortune entirely to make." To be sure, so it is, but they live very comfortably. They have no indoors man, else they do not want for anything, and Mrs. Martin talks of taking a boy another year. I wish you may not get into a scrape, Harriet, whenever he does marry. I mean as to being acquainted with his wife, for though his sisters, from a superior education, are not to be altogether objected to, it does not follow that he might marry anybody at all fit for you to notice. The misfortune of your birth ought to make you particularly careful as to your associates. Emma watched her through the fluctuations of this speech and saw no alarming symptoms of love. They met Mr. Martin the very next day as they were walking on the Donwell Road. He was on foot, and after looking very respectfully at her, looked with most unfeigned satisfaction at her companion. Emma was not sorry to have such an opportunity of survey. His appearance was very neat, and looked like a sensible young man. But when he came to be contrasted with gentlemen, she thought he must lose all the ground he had gained in Harriet's inclination.